Welcome back to Better Preparedness. This is the day one of an unplanned staycation, also known as lockdown. I'll put a link to the video from yesterday about the lockdown here in South Africa because of COVID-19. It's a strange, really strange thing. Like waking up, it's a Friday morning, and it is like a Sunday morning, hyper Sunday morning in terms of the level of silence. There's a few kids down the street having some fun, but you can essentially not hear a sound. And it really feels like you're in a remote part of South Africa, and there aren't any planes, there aren't any traces of planes. Haven't heard a car go by this morning. It is absolutely surreal. Now this so-called lockdown, can we call it a virus distancing? Okay, this 21-day virus distancing is a serious response to an extremely serious situation. South Africa has a chance to break that growth curve right now of the virus cases here. And this is pretty serious. To lock down a country, so to say, the economic impacts, the societal impacts, it's huge. Many of us have our work impacted. Many people will lose their jobs. Companies could go bust. But it's going to be a lot worse if this type of action doesn't happen. I think we're seeing a lot of countries that are kind of taking the half approach. In the United States, the cases are just skyrocketing. And that's what's going to happen if you don't have that 21 days to break the sort of transmission, repeating cycle. It's going to change things for a lot worse. All right, well, where are you? Where part of the world are you, experiencing your COVID-19 experience? Put it in the comment section below. This is also a wake-up call for preparedness in general. This could have been even worse. And from a preparedness perspective, it's a wake-up call for a lot of us to think about, what could we be doing better in listening, generally speaking, to our emergency management representatives, regardless of the country you live in. I don't see this as a doomsday scenario, and that's something I've mentioned in the lockdown video from yesterday. This is not a doomsday scenario if we change the outcome. If there's action, we can change the course. Well, what are your plans for this unplanned staycation? Right now it is autumn in South Africa, March. Remember, if you're in the southern hemisphere, you're in the opposite season from the northern hemisphere. So people in Canada right now are into that spring. Normally there's that sort of spring fever of finally escaping the Canadian winter. But people are under a bit of a stay-at-home order, but not, unfortunately, a real full lockdown, which is, I think, what's needed in Canada and North America and Europe as well. What are we planning to do? Well, continue to try to do the homeschooling, which is, mixed results. I am definitely not cut out to be a homeschool teacher, and so the kids are feeling it for sure. Well, try to do some exercise. Went out for my final ride, went out for a solo ride last night. March 25th, 2020. This is 6 hours before South Africa goes on lockdown for the coronavirus. I'm out for a socially distanced ride. Just sort of soaked in that joie de vivre of being out there on a bike or running, but won't be getting out on a bike or running for 21 days, I guess. And this could extend. And again, the less this country participates, the more this can extend beyond 21 days. So don't be too surprised. I think I'm going to be sorting some old mixed music cassettes and put those on the Walkman and see what's on there, because many of the cassettes aren't labeled. So I'll do some tests, but yeah, who knows? Maybe do some family camping. We were supposed to go camping this weekend, just sort of west of Pretoria. Well, not surprising, that's canceled. So maybe we'll do some garden camping and try to find a spot where we can pitch the tent and do some camping. Keep positive, keep optimistic. It's a strange thing, this unplanned staycation. Wherever you are, just make the most of it. Try to learn a new skill, do something you've been wanting to do. Keep positive. There's nothing much we can do right now other than keep a break and keep a break between us and the virus. And it's kind of interesting to see what videos on better preparedness right now are getting quite a lot of views. And there's one on black bears, there's one on camping in South Africa, there's one on for smoke detectors, all good. This means people are seeing beyond the crisis. I really don't want people to get bogged down in this crisis and think this is the end of the world. It's not. If we all participate, we will curb those numbers. China has had success in curbing its numbers, and what's worrying right now are the countries that are now surpassing China, and that includes the United States. And that's a very worrying thing because they've missed that opportunity, that initial opportunity to curb those numbers. Let's look beyond that. Plan for those other things. Be flexible in case this has to extend for a little bit longer. Stay positive, stay optimistic. Click that like and subscribe button for better preparedness and keep following those, those elements. Stay safe. Keep that process of washing your hands, so better social distancing. If somebody in your household is a bit sick, again, try to isolate a bit. 21 days is hopefully enough time to have most cases surface and be dealt with, either as a recovery without any sort of medical system intervention, or for those of us who would require, healthcare assistance, then hopefully those people can still be assisted by the healthcare system before we collapse it from having done nothing. All right, stay safe, stay optimistic, keep watching this channel. Let's do this. I think we can handle this and move on. Wherever you are in the world, stay safe. Thanks for watching Better Preparedness. Go grab yourself a coffee and wherever you have access to some fresh air and some sunlight, go do it. All right, take care of yourself and take care of those around you and look out for everyone. Cheers.